There is drama currently in Chelsea Football Club. And no, this isn't the part about fans booing the team in the first game of the season. Raheem Sterling's camp have written to show their displeasure about being left out of Chelsea's matchday squad just before Chelsea played City, and have revealed that they want to see clarity on the winger's future.
Result, but also Raheem Sterling being left out of the squad. Dave, this is another mess really for Chelsea, isn't it?
Chelsea's new coach has revealed that he left Sterling out and can't guarantee him minutes.
I don't know. The only thing I can say again that has been taking a decision, and the next day probably we want to sit and clarify the situation, but it's nothing more than that. I want Raheem Sterling, but I want all the 30 players that we have, but there is no space for all of them.
Chelsea have consistently dealt with an issue of a large squad, and despite that, they have just completed the signing of João Felix from Atletico Madrid in what turned out to be the most dramatic transfer saga ever, which involved fan favourite Conor Gallagher going the other way.
Chelsea have agreed a permanent deal with Atletico Madrid for João Felix. That means Conor Gallagher's transfer to Atletico Madrid is now back on.
Maresca has taken a ruthless approach to deal with the issue of a large squad and have Chelsea back to winning ways as fast as possible.
I just finished the session now. I'm already thinking about tomorrow's session. It's the only thing I like to do. I like to control, because then if you start to think about 43 players, manager, no time, I think don't worth it.
Maresca has picked only 28 players to work with, and has said the players who he hasn't picked are training apart, and not his problem.
But this is not my problem. I'm here to take decision and to think who they are the best for us. Then about the contract situation, it's not my job.
Despite their opening day loss to City, there are many positives for Chelsea, and there is also one glaring issue that Chelsea need to fix if they want to compete. The match shows why Chelsea could be in good hands under their new coach Enzo Maresca, and why Chelsea fans need to support him and not boo him. Enzo Maresca has a nickname which isn't so flattering. Fans call him the Diet Pep.
Ben Jacobs from TalkSport. A word on Enzo Maresca. They're calling him Diet Pep.
They call him this because he worked with PepGuardiola as one of City's assistant managers in the 2022-2023 season and helped lead City to a historic treble. Maresca replaced Juan Lillo, who left City for Al Sadd that same season. Maresca shot to prominence that season, and he got hired by Leicester City. But hold on. Before we go on, let's start from where it all began for Enzo Maresca. Maresca was born 10th of February 1980, and he began his playing career at West Bromwich Albion in 1998. He eventually moved to Juventus, where he won the Serie A in 2002. He left Juventus and moved to Fiorentina, then to Sevilla, where he won 5 major titles. He continued to play until his retirement in 2017. After his retirement, Maresca transitioned into team management. He joined Serie B club Ascoli for the 2017-2018 season as assistant to new head coach Fulvio Fiorin, despite not having his coaching badges. After cutting his teeth at Ascoli, Maresca joined Manuel Pellegrini when he was West Ham's coach. According to Maresca, it was Pellegrini that inspired him to coach, and he got his opportunity in 2020. However, it wasn't as a first-team coach. He joined Manchester City to become the manager of their elite development squad and led them to their first ever Premier League 2 title in 2021. What he did with that development squad was so immense that even Pep Guardiola was impressed.
And of course, Enzo Maresca last season made an incredible job with these players. Incredible job. I know it because we were together.
After his impressive spell at City, Maresca plunged into the world of first-team management in 2021 when Parma, in the Serie B, appointed him for the 2021-2022 season. Unfortunately, Maresca couldn't replicate the success he had with City's development squad with Parma. He was unable to transmit his ideas to the Serie B side. It didn't help that there was pressure to get the team instantly competing, as the owners had invested heavily in the transfer market. Maresca didn't have their trust and patience. So, after 14 games where he won 4, drew 5 and lost 5, Parma sacked him on the 23rd of November 2021. Maresca didn't stay so long without a job, as having impressed Guardiola with his work for City's development team, Maresca was the first name on the Spaniard's lips to replace the departing Juanma Lillo, as we mentioned earlier in the script. After his success with City, Maresca moved on to take charge of Leicester for the 2023-2024 season. The Italian tactician introduced a style of football which Leicester fans aren't used to. While we'll talk about the style later on, it is basically an extreme possession-focused football which they found quite boring. They were winning, but didn't find the slow, sleek passes fun, and their complaints got so much that after a 3-1 midweek victory over Swansea, Maresca threatened to leave if the fans didn't get behind him. It wouldn't be the last time that Maresca would come into conflict with the Leicester fans. When Maresca's tactics got found out, fans showed their displeasure toward him. Still, he won the championship for Leicester with 97 points. While Maresca was celebrating with Leicester, Chelsea and their then manager Mauricio Pochettino mutually parted ways.
Mauricio Pochettino is leaving Chelsea by mutual agreement.
Chelsea began to look at different options for their coach, with Ipswich Town's coach Kieran McKenna and Enzo Maresca being among the leading candidates.
Now, do I think he will be offered the Chelsea job?
Eventually, Chelsea opened talks with Maresca.
Big breaking news, and Chelsea's search for a new head coach could be coming to an end, because we're told Chelsea have been given permission by Leicester City to speak to their head coach Enzo Maresca.
After a positive round of talks, the club signed Enzo Maresca to be their new coach. Maresca's becoming Chelsea's coach didn't really inspire Chelsea's fan base, who have been splintered in between supporting the club's executives and criticising them. They didn't think Maresca had the experience to lead the club forward, especially after the club had parted ways with a couple of coaches before.
They've had a lot of managers here. Tuchel, Potter, Frank Lampard, Pochettino. They're all good managers. They all know the game, so they can't all be bad.
Guardiola has expressed confidence in Maresca and revealed he would change things at Chelsea if he was given the time to do so.
I wish him all the best because he deserves it. Nice people deserve the best, and as a manager, has success.
Since the new owners, Clearlake, bought Chelsea from Abramovich when he was sanctioned and had to sell the club, they have struggled to retain managers. Maybe Maresca will be different. What do you think? Maresca offers a different playing style from Pochettino. When Chelsea began pre-season, Maresca showed a ruthless side no other Chelsea manager has shown since Clearlake took over the club. He went into the pre-season with the players he wanted to work with in mind and left the others at Chelsea's training ground. During the pre-season matches, fans noticed the shift from how Chelsea played. They have left behind what could be described as the chaos ball they played under Pochettino, which relied on individual brilliance from the players, especially Cole Palmer in attack.
I think Palmer is a player that can go to play in number 9, that maybe his best position is here.
Do you move him to win you the game? Because sometimes,
yes.
Yeah, you do. You just there's a weakness, I'm just going to play you there.
In an offensive situation, we create different dynamics and organization for him to give the freedom to be wide, to stay inside, to arrive like a number 9, change position. We create some dynamics, for him to feel free. And every single situation he need to read. Even also when we play from back, he's maybe the only player that have the freedom to move and to try to find the space.
Chelsea have now adopted a more settled possession and positional system, which doesn't rely on an individual, but tries to elevate the team as a whole. The Italian tactician who has worked with Guardiola has a similar style to how Pep Guardiola sets up his teams. Maresca starts a match with a 4-3-3 formation, which changes shape during the match. When building up, the formation changes to a 3-2-5 and to a 4-4-1-1 when defending. One of the hallmarks of Maresca's formation is that the keeper begins the play and even sometimes comes out of the goalkeeper area to help the team be able to start their attack from the back. The fullbacks come into the central midfield to prevent opponents being able to play through their midfield. When attacking, the two central midfielders push forwards and add more numbers to the attack. With this system, Chelsea commit more players in attack. Also, when they don't have the ball, Chelsea players will begin to press their opponents to win the ball. And if they are unable to, they drop back into their own half. Maresca is basically replicating the same thing he did when he was at Leicester. To execute his tactics, Maresca requires his players to have both technical football abilities and also the energy to press the opponents. These two key attributes caused a ripple in the club, with some players needing to leave Chelsea. Among them was Conor Gallagher, who was sold to Atletico Madrid, with João Felix moving from Atletico Madrid to Chelsea. Gallagher has now been announced in front of the Atletico fans.
Hola, no hablo mucho español. Estoy muy feliz.
And Felix has been announced by Chelsea. So who is Gallagher's replacement? And how does Felix fit into Maresca's setup? Is he needed at Chelsea?
Is he what they need at the moment?
We'll get to that soon. As we mentioned earlier, Chelsea need a certain skill set to achieve how their new coach wants them to play, and this has made them sign a couple of players. As they begin their play from the back, with the emphasis being on the goalkeeper to start the play, Chelsea have decided to sign a new goalkeeper. While Chelsea have Robert Sanchez, who is known as one of the best playing goalkeepers in the Premier League, they have now acquired the services of goalkeeper Philip Jorgensen, who had 6 clean sheets and made 143 saves for Villarreal in the La Liga 2023-2024 season. Jorgensen showed his incredible passing against Real Madrid with 88% passing accuracy. However, his long balls need a little bit of work. Chelsea then signed Renato Viega, who along with Marc Cucurella is expected to play the left-back position for Chelsea, with Ben Chilwell being asked to look towards another club for minutes. Chilwell is not the only player who has been told that he won't be guaranteed minutes. Winger Raheem Sterling has also been told the same, and has even had his number 7 jersey collected from him and given to new winger Pedro Neto.
Raheem and Ben, will they be training? They're not in the squad for this game. Will they be training with the rest of the players later on?
They are, in this moment, they are training apart. As I said already the other day, the situation with both of them is quite clear.
Pedro Neto is the kind of winger that Maresca would want to work with, due to his ability to take on defenders. He offers Chelsea a dynamic outlet in attack. Tosin Adarabioyo on a free transfer is to become part of their centre-back setup. Like Levi Colwill, Axel Disasi, Benoit Badiashile and Wesley Fofana, Adarabioyo is also very much comfortable on the ball and is a decent defender. However, Chelsea seem to currently favour the partnership of Fofana and Colwill in defence. This was the pairing they used in their first Premiership League game against Manchester City. Even though that game ended up a loss for Chelsea, it had many positives which Maresca has decided to focus on. The game showed the squad was getting used to how Maresca wanted to play. They dominated the match in certain spells, with holding midfielder Romeo Lavia being one of the standout performers. Christopher Nkunku showed he isn't cut out to play the wings for Chelsea, which makes the signing of João Felix look sensible, as he is a better dribbler than Nkunku. Chelsea's new central midfielder, Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, who they signed from Leicester, is still adapting to Chelsea, and has a lot to do to convince fans he is going to have a similar impact that Conor Gallagher had for Chelsea. Dewsbury-Hall had 14 assists and created 20 big chances for Leicester City in the 23-24 season. That game also showed Chelsea need to sign a striker, with their current striker Nicholas Jackson lacking confidence in front of goal. There are reports of Chelsea being in the market for a new striker, with their target reportedly being Napoli striker Victor Osimhen, who has submitted a transfer request to Napoli.
Now on the news, we brought you earlier that Victor Osimhen has told Napoli he wants to leave. Napoli's sporting director, Giovanni Manna, has said Victor is a player who wants to leave, and last year there was already a situation in place. We are calm because we have guys in the squad to replace him.
Maresca is still understanding his squad. However, his ruthlessness to deal with Chelsea's large squad and how players are already playing like he wants them to show he is a coach that could turn Chelsea's fortune around. Will he succeed, or will he be dismissed like the managers before him without making a significant impact? Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you in our next video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and catch our next video.